We have a special guest with us today. Joining us, the host of the Duran with us, the popular geopolitical news channel. Joining us from London, we have Alexander Mercouris, and from Athens, Greece, his co-host, Alex Christoforou is with us. Alexander and Alex, that's not too confusing. Please welcome to the show.
Delighted to be here.
It's great to have you guys. Thanks for being here. You want to show them so I can say hi to them, Andrew, or you want to? Oh, there they are. Everybody see their pretty faces? Greece. Wow, always wanted to go to Greece. UK, not so much.
Come here. You're welcome. You're always welcome in Greece.
UK. I like to go to places with good food, but now there's good food everywhere you go. So even the UK has good food now. That's what I hear. I've never been.
I went and it was fine. I didn't really have any of this stuff.
True.
It's true. Yeah. Well, Gordon Ramsay and all that stuff. It's really the culture's changing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's all kebabs when I went.
So
I swear to God, that's all.
Plenty of those still.
It's like 2011.
All right. So, General, it's great to have you on. Let's cover this story I'd wanted to cover. It's about Jon Stewart, and his new show is called The Problem, and now Jon Stewart has a bit of a problem his own. He's not as well informed as I thought he was because he's given out medals to Nazis at Disneyland or Disney World.
Disney World, the nicer one.
That's right. So there it is. So that really happened. I mean, in fairness, this was kind of Walt Disney's original dream when he built Disney World, that one day Mickey Mouse would stand side by side with a Jew while he awarded a medal to a Nazi. So just to give you the guys, this August, so the Department of Defense sponsors these warrior games at Disney World, and on August 19th to 28th. So, and then Jon Stewart, he showed up to give awards, which to me is like pro-war adjacent. If you're fucking giving out that's just, come on. Anyway, so he was giving out awards to the Ukrainian military veteran named Ihor Halushka, the Heart of the Team Award for his inspiring his team with this personal example.
Wait. John really loves veterans, no matter who they are.
He really, really loves veterans. Yeah. So Halushka, that guy they gave the award to, he happens to be a neo-Nazi in the Azov Battallion, which has been armed by the U.S. and integrated into the Ukrainian National Guard. They're an official part of it now. The award-winning ultra-nationalist, he wore a sleeve over his left arm as he accepted the prize to look, you see, to cover up. So he's wearing that.
No, that's not the sleeve. That's the cape.
No, that's right. That's the flag he wore, right?
Yeah.
So, let's see. So there he is. So you can see it. That's him. There it is. Right. So look how proud. It's like Make-A-Wish kid with a Nazi tattoo. I wish to be given a medal from Jon Stewart. They're doing this warrior game thing, and they were joined at the ceremony from this year's competition by Darius Rucker, the former vocalist for the glorified bar band Hootie and the. Oh, you don't have to say that. That's a cheap. Come on. Now, I love the Gray Zone, but I love Hootie and the Blowfish. You don't have to say they were a glorified bar. Maybe they were, but
now, did the Blowfish refuse to come out of protest?
Hey, why are Ukraine warriors at Disney World anyway? Isn't the fucking war still going on? Are they getting Disney vacation breaks now? Anyway, so during the closing ceremony, Stewart awarded the Azov Battallion in Halushka with the Heart of the Team Award. The announcer proclaimed that Ihor inspires his team with his personal example and his unique sense of humor. Sergeant First Class Ihor Halushka embodies the spirit of determination that is the heart of Team Ukraine. So there he is, and there's the cover on the tattoo. There he is shaking John's hand. And is that the medal already around his neck? I don't know. Who knows?
No, it's like I don't know what that is.
Prior to Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February of this year, mainstream outlets from the Daily Beast to Vox to Foreign Policy and even the U.S. government propaganda outlet Voice of America have each acknowledged the Azov Battalion's embrace of Nazism. I guess Jon Stewart missed all those news stories.
I remember also when I would say they were almost like hysterical about how Nazified it was.
Yes.
In all, like Vice had this whole thing about how.
Yes, before the war.
Yeah, how do you get it so nobody remembers that?
I don't know. But since the invasion, however, Western corporate media has downplayed the presence of Nazis and in the Ukraine armed forces as groups like the Azov have taken on prominent frontline roles. Get this year, Warrior Games, they're taking place at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex at Walt Disney World. Here's what they're doing. Rugby, cycling, powerlifting, indoor rowing, wheelchair basketball, field golf, track swimming, Jew chasing, sitting volleyball, and archery. I made up one of those. Ukraine team is composed of the same veteran athletes, get this, that were in the Invictus Games. That's a similar competition of wounded veterans founded by Prince Harry after the English royal attended the Warrior Games. While the team page on the Invictus Games website merely states that guy Halushka was a member of the Ukrainian National Guard, and an expanded bio on the website makes it clear he's a member of the Nazi brigade Azov. Halushka's never been shy about his ties with the Azov Battalion either. During the Invictus Games this April, he whipped out an Azov flag as he accepted a gold medal, which was hosted in The Hague, where war criminals are normally tried, not awarded. Likewise, in Orlando, Halushka wore an Azov Battalion t-shirt as he accepted a gold medal for indoor rowing. He was honored days later as the heart of his team. While the presence of neo-Nazis with Ukraine's fighting forces may come as a little surprise to critical observers of NATO's conflict with Russia, their invitation to Disney World by the Department of Defense is without a doubt one of the weirdest episodes in the Ukraine proxy war. And Kurt Metzger himself makes it in. He says, hey, you think after Jon Stewart got done putting a medal around the neck of that Nazi guy at Disney World, he took him aside afterwards and educated him about white privilege? Because that way some good came out of this.
If you reach out,
If you reach out. By the way, Jon Stewart's one of those guys who only follows 2 people on Twitter. He hasn't responded to any of this controversy. So I went to his Twitter thing, and he got 1.5 million followers. He only follows 2 people.
Who are they?
I don't want to say what that says about him psychologically, because I'm just a pothead comedian. But I would like to get a psychiatrist on. There's certain people who do this. I've seen other people. Dennis Miller did this. There's certain people who do this. Who do you think those 2 people are? I bet they're super special. Anyway, let me bring on our guests from the Duran. Gentlemen, what do you make of this? And are you surprised that Jon Stewart got caught up in it?
I'm not surprised. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm no longer surprised. I think there's been a Western world to deny the obvious, to pretend that the Azov Battalion is just this cuddly organization, which perhaps once upon a time, long ago, still had right-wing links. But, now they're fighting the Russians. They're fighting for the defense of the West. So, we don't worry about that anymore. So I have to say, I'm not surprised. When they were defeated a few months ago in Mariupol, hardly anybody ever mentioned this. And one of the most depressing things, I mean, you were talking about the tattoo this man has. They all have tattoos, by the way. This is very much part of being an Azov person, that you have to have these tattoos. You could see examples of these people when they were coming out of the factory. You could see all the tattoos they had, and some of them were pretty, hardcore Nazi tattoos. I mean, very hardcore. And they make no secret of what they think, who they are, what they do, but we all look the other way. I'm a bit astonished that a comedian should have jumped in on all of this.
Oh, me too.
Corporation did.
So why do you think Jon Stewart could not have known that guy was a Nazi, right? I don't know if you know, but what do you think?
No, I don't think he could have known. I mean, I can't believe that he knew that. I mean, that's probably something he just wasn't aware of. I think lots of people have so much reporting about Ukraine. It's always presented as very much a black and white issue. It's Ukraine, the country that's attacked by Russia. They're fighting for democracy. They're fighting for freedom. I know so many people who think this, including people who work in media, who are familiar with this sort of thing. So I'm sure he didn't know. He probably has heard stories like this, but he assumes, as many people do, that this is Russian propaganda, which it isn't.
It isn't. I every time I bring it up with anybody, they say it's Russian propaganda, and it just goes to show you how well the corporate media is managed in America by the military-industrial complex. I mean, the West's media is really managed. Every time I see a BBC report, it's full of shit. So I don't know where you can get good information about foreign policy or about war, besides places like the Duran or places like Gray Zone. And then places like here, when I piggyback off their work. And of course they're using Disney World. And so, anything else before we move on? We're going to move on. Anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, briefly. I mean, it's not everybody is fooled by this. I mean, in Greece, where of course we've had experience of occupation by the Germans, by the Nazis during the Second World War. And there's a large Greek community in Mariupol, which is the city which Azov made their headquarters. Of course, people know exactly what Azov is. And when Zelensky came and addressed the Greek parliament, he had an Azov person with him. And there was a huge uproar in the parliament. Alex was telling me about it at the time. And a lot of MPs, parliamentarians, just walked out because they knew this person was a Nazi, and they were not happy to have him addressing the Greek parliament. So there are places where people do know this, but the trouble is most people, the United States, Britain, Germany, they don't know.
The trouble is most people don't. What now? Is the UK? Are the people in the UK aware that there was a peace deal in April, kind of already worked out for Ukraine, but that Boris Johnson flew there and nixed it?
No, they don't know. And can I just say, as a British person, because I live in Britain, I mean, I'm obviously a Greek extraction, but I live here, and I'm absolutely, British citizen. I'm deeply ashamed and very, very angry about this, because there was a deal. These two countries were almost at the brink of peace. It's not, by the way, a new revelation. We've discussed it, Alex and I, on the Duran many, many times. But British people do not know that the reason there continues to be a war in Ukraine is because our Prime Minister went to Kiev and told the Ukrainian government, told Zelensky, renege on this deal, take back all the concessions you've made, continue the war, we will support you. And if you don't continue the war, you and the Russians say you need. So we played a terrible role in this. Our Prime Minister played a terrible role in this, and the British people don't know about it.
Come see us do stand-up comedy in Spokane, Tacoma, Virginia Beach, Richmond, Arlington, San Jose, Miami, West Palm Beach. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all tickets and become a premium member while you're there.